In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the German twisted longtail cast on. And it's especially useful when you're making something like headbands or sock cuffs or cuffs for your wrists. And so let me show you first an example. These are the same two pieces of knitting, and this is the long-tailed cast on. You can see with this brioche stitch how much this will stretch, but this long-tail cast on limits how much that can travel. And in comparison, this German twisted long-tail cast on has a lot of stretch to it. So it's really perfect when you want to be able to get this over your head. So that being said, let's go ahead and give this a go. So just like in the long-tailed cast on, you're going to want to leave a length of yarn for the tail, and then you're going to hold between your hands like you're making a slingshot. Your yarn is going between your hands, and you have this bridge between your fingers. So you begin just by scooping up your first stitch. You don't need a knot. Now for the regular long-tailed cast on, we would just be picking up the thumb loop and the finger loop and leaving it on the needle. But in this cast on, we're adding a little extra twist. Let me pull this off. So we have our first loop just kind of cast on there. We pivot our hand backwards, and beginning closest to our body, we go under both strands from the thumb and pick them up. We go through the hole on the thumb towards ourselves, and then we pivot over to the finger, index finger, and we scoop that up. And you'll see here at the base is a small hole, a triangular hole. You pull your needle back up through that and release it. And in doing the German twisted cast on, it's good if you want to make sure you have plenty of stretch. Put your fingers here on these two loops that are on the needle, and that will allow you to go to the next stitch without tightening up too much. So we pivot back, we go under both strands on the thumb, up over the top and back down through the thumb hole, and then we pivot over to the index finger, going over the strand and scooping it up and coming back through that little triangular hole and release the thumb. So we go under both strands on the thumb, back through the thumb loop, pivot over to the index finger, and scoop up that stitch. And just release your thumb. You don't need to pull on these threads or the yarn, because each next stitch that you put on there will provide just the right amount of tension. So let's do that again. We're in the slingshot position. We come down under both strands on the thumb, scooping up both strands. We come back down through the hole on the thumb, pivot over to the finger, and go over that strand, scooping it up and bringing it through that triangular hole at the base. Let me do that just a couple more times so that you have it under both strands on the thumb, back through the hole on the thumb, over the strand on the finger, and down through the triangular hole. And you can really build up fairly good rhythm with this. It doesn't take much longer than the long tail cast on, but when you need that extra bit of stretch, This is the cast on that will yield you the best results. It is a nice clean looking edge, but again, we're after the stretch. I'll do that just a few more times. Under both strands on the thumb, back through the thumb hole, over the strand on the index finger, and off. And one more time. Very simple. That's all there is to it. You cast on the number of stitches required and move on, and you'll be thrilled with the results. Thanks for joining me today at Snowy Owl Knits.